Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here. It's Wednesday, and yes, as usual, it's another look what I have been watching. So here we go. I'll try not to give it away in the thumbnail this time. So yes, so this is a movie series that I do most Wednesdays. That is a review of everything I've been watching from this Wednesday to last Wednesday. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's not a lot. It's dependent on what I get round to and where I find time. I say it works out about a movie a week, and as you will know in my movie habits, I'm trying to catch up on like the 4,500 almost DVDs of movies I own. I'm trying to catch up and watch most, if not all of them, because that's what I think. To have a collection, I want to have watched at least everything once. At least, you know, my favourites probably lots of times. So we shall get into it. So the first one we have was a recommendation by AJ's Movie Place, so this is Let Me In. So this is something that was gifted to him, I'll put it up there, and it is actually a remake of I think, Finnish or Norway, or from that era or region movie about a young girl who is a vampire, which you can kind of tell in this. This obviously stars Chloe. What is her name now? That's not really helping me. Was a Swedish film, I should know that. Chloe Grace Moretz. So she plays a young girl, and this is basically the same story told with a few bits twisted out. The story plays out in the same way, but in the original, the story starts from point A and goes all the way to point B. This one, you start kind of in the middle of A to B, and that's where you see it, and then we skip back to the beginning, and then we play kind of the full movie out. Which I thought was interesting, how they mixed some of the scenes up, but worked really well. The actors and actresses worked really well, and it's not your stereotypical one to say. They did change a few bits up, and a few scenes play out a little bit differently. But for the most part, a lot of it core is around the same, but still quite good for an American movie. And obviously the kids did quite well. Didn't want to do a bit of CG there to show the vampire side of things, but the original Swedish one is all no visual effects as far as I'm aware. So there is that one. So the next one I purchased myself. This is one I first watched last year. This is Dear Evan Hansen. So this is or was a musical. This was then made into a film. I believe Netflix showed it 2021, 22. And the original actor who is from Pitch Perfect, he came back to play the young teenage kid, and I know he got a lot of stick for it, but I thought he did really, really well. It is a film that I actually enjoyed more the second time than the first time. So I liked this movie, let's say, the first time watching it. Went on to watch the soundtrack and listened to the soundtrack quite a lot, because quite a lot of the songs are quite catchy. And there is a lot going on. And once you kind of know the premise of the story, when you watch it the second time, I think you get a deeper appreciation, because they changed a few little bits, specifically the ending. And you sometimes you feel a little that it's not necessarily your stereotypical happy ending. It is, stuff gets resolved, and there are developments in the character, but there's kind of an element of the main character that you don't really see, and it only gets highlighted very slightly. And I think once you know that, the second time round you actually appreciate it a little more. But yeah, definitely recommend. Quite a hard one to get. I think it cost me £6-7. So next one, obviously this is one I watched last year. I did rate it all right. Obviously, unfortunately, I had to pass on my friend on this week. That's not, you know, when this happens. So it's nice to revisit, to remember him, because it always brings back memories. So I take it as that. And again, I thought it was an okay-ish movie, and I put it out. For me, obviously, I'll have that flashback memory, so maybe it will hide myself in a bit regard. I do like Zachary Levi and stuff. I do think the problem with this, there was just too much going on. You have him and his 5 siblings, and him kind of growing up and trying to find his place, and obviously maybe aging out of the home. Then you have the 2/3 sisters. Then you have the love interest. Then you have all the demons. Then you have the betrayal. And then you have the wizard, and I was just like, you've got like 12, 15 kind of main characters that are trying to take up a lot of time, and it just is too much. I really think, personally, they should have split this movie. So take these out and have the story of all of the siblings. We only really got to see Billy as the main one, and obviously it should have been a lot more focused just on them, of them trying to kind of come to terms as a team and trying to figure out stuff and kind of building that relationship. And then I think if you would have built those characters up and had more of a connection with it, then you could throw in some evil bad guys and have the third one as, obviously, unfortunately, we're never going to get a third one. And it's a bit shame to say I do like Zachary Levi. The villain's choice and not the throwing of Wonder Woman and stuff in there, yeah, I didn't think really needed to be needed. Specifically the ending, again, I've said this in a lot of films, I hate it in movies. Transformers Rise of the Beast, so spoilers if you've not seen that, where you bring characters in, kill them off and people know they're going to come back. It just seems pointless. But anyway, so going back, so Creed 2, this was gifted to me from AJ. I also have Creed 1 to go over there. So I quite enjoyed this series, 1, 2 and 3. I quite liked him taking over from 3 and the anime stars and that. I know a lot of people didn't, but that's it. But this I thought was quite good, how they developed the character in 1 and then kind of, you know, he got beat but he got the recognition. I thought was a good start. This one was good. I like the fact that you got to see Rocky's son in this one as well. For some reason I thought he died in 2, but I was obviously wrong. Then we have an old one, so me and my wife have gone back. We watched Dolittle in the previous week, so you'll see we wanted to watch Dr. Dolittle. Really like this movie with Rodney and the dog and all this stuff, and you know, again, they don't make movies like this, and it was just family fun films. You know, we have like Paddington and stuff like that, but there's only a few. There's not as many, I think, as rich as it was from the 90s. Now, whether that's down to ideas, but I still like this. We have 2 to watch. I don't own 3. I've never seen 3, so that's an interesting one to go. So then we have the Steelbook of Creed. So again, this was gifted to me from AJ's Movie Place. So a massive thank you to AJ for having these. Again, a great movie. I like how they brought the characters back, and you know, Adonis, he has his troubles and stuff like this, and how Rocky kind of links to him and how he doesn't want to be the kind of Creed, you know, affiliated with that. He wants to be his own character, and like at the ending, the fact that he doesn't win, he just wins the respect. He doesn't win the match, but he wins the respect of the audience, and that was kind of nice to have that story, you know. So Sylvester Stallone in this and how he works well with Michael B. Jordan is brilliantly, you know, the little comments of where he's giving him the tips and he's like, oh yeah, I've got it, and he's like, don't you need it, write it down. He went, no, I've got it, it's in the cloud. And then like Rocky's like, the little bits like that were really, really funny, you know, showed the kind of age difference in technology, you know, in today's era. And the final one that I picked up really cheap, I think it was £1.50, was Kramer versus Kramer. So this was won 5 Oscars, which I didn't realise it won an Oscar for. Watched it, and for the most part, I really, really liked this movie. It was good to see Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman. Don't know why I couldn't remember his name there. As parents, the mother obviously has issues and walks away from the family. She comes back a year and a half later, and then it's a court case of them fighting it, and they struggle. Both of them do struggle, and I liked it all the way up until the ending. And I think the ending, I know this one a picture, but I'm just like, it was kind of like you get the court's decision and all this stuff, and they've gone through this hard battle and all this stuff, even though you can see the courts are causing them to come out with stuff that they don't really want to talk about, or you know, or paints the other person in the bad light, but you can see they still care about each other to a care point, and they care about the kid, which is the main thing. It's, yeah, there is a decision, and then the end kind of the last kind of scene reverses everything, and kind of, to me, I don't know if it was the journey, and it's the whole point of them seeing the positive side of themselves, that the court battle, because the court battle brought up such a bad side of them, and they still kept the kindness, and so, you know, you more realised kindness within them, and that's why the decision was reversed, and it's a whole Kramer versus Kramer is a story. But for me, I was like, surely you could have stopped the court battle and had some sort of realisation near the end of it before a decision needed to be made, because they both put a lot of money into this, and they're both, you know, it's both affected them quite a long ways, let alone the impact it would have after this movie. But this is a fictional world and stuff, and I say it won 5 Oscars, so I say it was very good. So best director, best screenplay, best picture. I can't remember what movies have come out, so I think maybe that's something I might do a review on. If, you know, I might take the top movies of each year and which one we've got the best picture and what one I thought. That's a good idea for a series. Please let me know if you're watching this video. Do you think you'd like to see that? So if I go through the years, maybe that is something I will do in future videos. Otherwise, this has been a look what I've been watching. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've seen any of these or what your views, if you agree, disagree with me. Always happy to hear from the audience out there. Otherwise, I shall see you in the next one.